Everybody, good evening on this nice Wednesday night. Our rain has finally stopped and the sun has tried to come out before nighttime. It peeked through and then all of a sudden it started
Make your browser fast.
going back down because it was time for it to start getting dark. But the garden got a good soaking, the yard got a good soaking. And after I put all the fertilizer and the calcium out and the Epsom salts, all that rain just washed it in good, so my plants ought to enjoy it. They ought to be happy. Oh. We got anybody in the house tonight? It's like we got 10 watching, but nobody in live chat. As of yet, anyway. But I wanted to go live. Oh, there's Donna. Hey, Donna. How's Donna doing this evening? Yeah, I wanted to go live and let y'all know that my electricity's on. The electrician come out here and took care of that. I got my car to Nissan. They checked everything and they said all they could find was the battery was dead and there was a battery cable that was loose. So they tightened up the battery cable, charged the battery, and said it should be fine now. So far, I've not had any problems, but that's only been a day, so we'll see. Life with Pippintine, Gladys, and Donna's in the house. Hello, ladies. How are y'all doing this evening? We had a storm this morning, almost of the day today. I had that emergency line call me 3 times. The first time to let me know that there was a severe storm in the area. Heavy rains, wind, and then later I got another call telling me there was a flash flood warning. And then about 2 hours later, I got another call telling me that there was another flash flood warning. Well, I'm up on this hill, the highest part in this county, I think. So I'm the last place that's ever going to be flooded. And there's Alley Oop. Hello, Alley Oop. How's Alley Oop doing? Donna, Gladys, Alley Oop, and Life with Pippintine. I know this weather's been crazy. I no sooner got all my shade cloth up and all these storms and the wind started hitting. I mean, we've had 2 storms since I put that shade cloth up. That banana pudding's good, Gladys. You need to get your boys to make you some because it's so easy. All they need to do is get them a tub of Cool Whip, a box of instant banana pudding mix, and a box of vanilla wafers, and you got it. And maybe a bottle of cherries if you want to top it with a cherry. And there's East Texas Vlogger. Hello. Yeah, we've had pouring down rain all day. It finally stopped about an hour ago, and the sun tried to come out. And now, though, since it's getting so late, the sun's going down, and it's starting to get dark outside. But my yard and my garden got a good soaking today. And I'm so glad because I had just yesterday put that calcium, Epsom salts, and natural fertilizer to all my plants. So this is the best thing that could have happened was it just come a downpour rain and soak all that stuff into my plants so the roots will get the benefit of it. And there's Jana. Hello, Jana. Alley Oop is in the house. Linda, that banana pudding made me want some. It's so good. I love banana pudding. And it's so easy to make it that way, and you don't have to heat up your kitchen. It's just a good way to make a good banana pudding. And if you've never fixed it that way, you need to try it. Like I said, all you need is a tub of Cool Whip, a box of instant banana pudding mix, put out by Jello, and then a box of vanilla wafers, and you got what you need. And maybe a small bottle of cherries so you can top it with a cherry. Yeah, my raspberry bush is growing like crazy. And I did put the CDs up to it, hanging around it. And I put one aluminum pie pan up there. So that should keep the birds away. And if that's why I have not had raspberries till now, maybe putting those two CDs up there in that aluminum pie pan to keep the birds away from my bush will give me some raspberries this year. It was banana pudding, East Texas vlogger. You didn't see my video? Good evening, Brenda. How's Brenda doing? Yeah, I ate a bowl of that banana pudding after I ate my supper tonight. I ate my last two pieces of pizza for my dinner tonight, and then I ate a bowl of banana pudding as dessert. Oh no, you hated bananas, so she'd make it in part without the bananas so you could eat it. Well, how sweet. Is it fresh cherries or canned pie cherries? No, just the jar of cherries you can get on the counter. They're in a liquid. You can get a little tiny jar and just take one to top your banana puddings with. I mean, you could use a fresh a fresh cherry if you wanted, but I just usually buy the little jar. Well, let me show you. I think I can get to the jar in the refrigerator. See where it is. Here's a jar of cherries I bought. And I used to get one this size or smaller than this for my son when he was little, because I could not go buy groceries without buying him a little jar of cherries. He loved cherries. And if he was with me buying groceries, I had to get a jar of cherries. And he'd come home and he'd try to eat the whole jar. So I bought one of the little jars, He loved cherries. One or two or three. As many as you want. I mean, it'd be your banana pudding. You put how many cherries on it you want. If you saw my video, I just topped mine with one. But you can put as many as you want on there. I mean, you're making it. It's your banana pudding. The restaurant style cherries. Okay, I was right. There was a shortage in the wire. And it knocked out the whole right side of the fuse panel. So nothing on the right side of the fuse panel was getting power. On the left side it was, which come to the kitchen. And then actually my freezer is run on a separate line to a separate box outside. So it didn't even interfere with that. But he come in and he checked it and he took things apart and he replaced some wires in there, put it all back together, and it's working fine now. He said in the future I might consider putting in a fuse, not a fuse, but a breaker box instead of the fuses, do away with the fuse box. But then he was talking about putting it on the outside of the house. And a friend of mine that did electrical work years ago thought about that, but he said then it's out in the weather. And he said, I don't know if that's a good idea. But I know that the boxes they put outside are weatherproof. But a friend of mine had them change it out like that. She bought a brand new refrigerator. The first time they had a storm after that, which was just a couple of months, a power surge come through the line and knocked her brand new refrigerator out. And if it had had the fuse panel still there, it probably wouldn't have done that. It would have burnt the fuse out, but it probably would not have knocked her new refrigerator out. Did I have anything to do with the storm? No, not nothing, not a thing, Jana, other than I sat here and watched it rain and I watched the wind blow. And I brought the fur babies inside so that, because the wind was blowing and they were both curled up asleep on the patio out here. Little Buddy was on the steps and Lucky was on the table. Well, when that wind started blowing so hard and it was just downpouring, well, it was blowing the rain right on up to the step. So I brought both of the fur babies in the house until it quit raining. And then they were ready to go out. They like it outside. And there's Wilson. Hey, Wilson. I could eat I could eat the whole jar of cherries. I love cherries. And my son did too. I'll never forget the first time. I don't know what I was buying down the aisle where the cherries were, but he saw a jar of cherries and he'd eaten cherries before. He saw a small jar of cherries and he threw a fit. He was trying to climb out of the buggy to get to the bottle of cherries because he wanted him some cherries. And I said, Chad, sit down. You're going to fall. I'll get you a jar of cherries. So I got him that little jar and I handed it to him. He held tight to that jar until I got out to the checkout and could check out. And he saw that I bought that jar of cherries. But after that, every time I'd go to the grocery store, Mama, I want cherries. I want cherries. So every time, I don't care if it was 3 times a week, I had to come out of there with a jar of cherries. Wilson said he liked the cowboy candy. What did you put it on, Wilson? I usually favor my beans, or you can put it on tacos. There's a lot of different uses for it. Yeah, it's a sweet memory. He loved his cherries. And he had such curly hair when he was little. And it was out about 3 or 4 inches long. And of course, it just all curled up all over his head. And people would see him in the basket when I was going down the aisles. And a lot of them would say, oh, look at what a cute little girl with all that curly hair. Oh, it would make him mad. He'd look at me and he'd pout up. He said, Mom, I'm not no girl. So he fussed at me after that. He wanted his hair cut so he didn't look like a little girl anymore. So I had to cut most of his curls off. But they didn't call him a little girl after that, and he was happy. I've already given my fur baby supper, and I've got little Buddy scratching at the door because he hears me talking, and I know what he wants. He wants catnip treats is what he's wanting. I don't care how much I feed him during the day. He'll come back to that door and he'll scratch on it because he wants those treats. And I'm probably going to have to go give him some or he's not going to stop scratching. He don't do that unless he hears me talking. So let me get the catnip treats and go give him a handful. I've started buying them by the 30 ounce because they want them so much. They drive me crazy. See, you still got food. You still got food. You want treat. Yeah, you want treat. Watch out. You can't get over here. Well, they're out there chowing down. I froze. Well, I got up. I had to go give the fur babies their treats because they were scratching at the door. Yeah, we had rain all day long. All day, and it just poured down. It poured down so much and so fast. The water was literally standing in my yard. So the runoff from this mountaintop downhill was bound to flood somebody somewhere down below. The video stopped. I don't know. I wasn't here, so I couldn't tell whether it stopped or not. I was giving little Buddy and Lucky their treats. They're out there chowing down right now. They love those catnip treats. I'm on a hillside. Lake Palestine is 2 blocks from my house. And there's Paula. Hello, Paula. Yeah, I don't have to water. And my garden ought to thrive because, you know, the rainwater helps. I mean, your garden always jumps for joy when it gets rainwater. And now the fact that it had the calcium, the fertilizer, and the Epsom salts. Oh, my goodness. My garden ought to jump for joy and just grow a foot. I noticed I got a couple of zucchini on my plants. One of them was about 4 or 5 inches long, the zucchini. And I got a bunch of yellow squash on the other one. I don't know how big they're going to get. Hopefully these don't end up with end rot. You also heard that lightning contributes to the growth of vegetation. I don't know. But if it did, my garden ought to grow because we've had thunder and lightning off and on today. I've heard thunder in the distance. But I know the internet was down, Wi-Fi was down. I was not only having trouble with my electric here, but the Wi-Fi was off and on for several days because I got a message from, I can't even think of the cable company's name. But they sent me a message telling me that there had been an outage, that a lot of areas have been without Wi-Fi service due to the storm. Well, if lightning contributes to the growth, my garden ought to grow a foot. Not so much every day now. I mean, I've still got things to do. I couldn't work out there today really because it was raining all day. But I've been transplanting those Roma tomato plants, you know, that I sliced the tomato and I put it in the top of that pot and covered it with soil. Well, as the tomato plants have come up and got big enough to transplant, I've been moving them around the yard. So I've got a lot of Roma tomato plants around my garden now from that one tomato that I sliced up. And now I got to start doing the same with my pepper plants because I've got pepper plants that came up from those pepper seed. And, you know, a lot of them are almost probably close to being big enough to transplant. Yeah, well, I've got probably 10, 12 pots of Roma tomatoes right now around the garden from those slices of tomato that I planted. And I've still got a few more coming up. So, I mean, not even half of those seeds come up yet. And I don't know about those peas I put in the green-stalk tower. It said on the package they were bush beans. And, you know, I pulled them out of the strawberry patch and I put them in the green-stalk tower because those lima beans, there was only like 3 of them that came up out of all of them that I planted. And I said, well, the bush beans ought to do good in the tower. But they're putting out runners, y'all. They don't look like bush beans. They look like runners. And if they're runners, I don't know what I'm going to do. That green-stalk tower is not made for running beans, pole beans. So I don't know. We'll see. And I don't have anywhere to pull them out of there and put them anywhere else. But I planted, 2 or 3 packages of lima beans in that green-stalk tower, and that's all I was going to have growing there. And I only had 3, I think it's 3 of the holes, those potting sections that came up with lima beans. So I got about 3 lima bean plants mixed in with all those other supposedly bush beans. But I don't know, I'll tell you. The potatoes are growing good, and I finally put more dirt to them. Because, you got to keep hilling them up. And I could put a little bit more dirt in them, but I added about an inch or two the other day, and I stopped. And I said I may go back and add a little bit more, but then I'll be at the top of the bag, so I won't be able to add any more than that. But they're growing good. The potato plants look great. I've been showing them in the videos and the garden updates and stuff. My lot is situated. I don't have that much space. My aerobic septic sprays out, and I hear that you can get sick off all the vegetable growing. I don't know about that. I don't know about those aerobic systems. I know everybody around here, they're buying 150 by 105-foot lot, putting a house in, and it's not big enough to put sprayers to the septic, to those aerobic systems. So they're having to just barely put like a drain field. It looks like a garden hose run back and forth under the ground. They put a couple of inches of dirt on top, and that's it. Because the lot's not big enough to put the sprinklers. They can't sprinkle it on the fences, the privacy fences. They can't sprinkle it toward the house. They can't sprinkle it toward somebody else's lot. And they can't sprinkle it on the street, so they had to bury the line. Sorry, the split message, YouTube. Yeah, I know. Isn't that a bummer, East Texas vlogger? You get to typing, and then all of a sudden YouTube stops you, and you got to go in and put in another section of your chat. Well, I have 3 lots. My house is on the middle lot, and then I own each lot on each side. So that's why I have the room that I got. And I bought it was 2 lots that came with the house when I bought it, the mobile home. And then later I bought the lot on the opposite side of me, between me and the new house over here, because I was thinking about building a house myself, and I wanted plenty of room between my house and the property line. I didn't want just 5 feet. And that's why I ended up with 3 lots, but I never got around to being able to build my house. So you're ironing, Jana, while you're listening. That's okay. I iron occasionally. I try not to wear anything that needs ironing. I haven't ironed anything in ages. Yes, and now I've got plenty of room. I got a lot on each side of my house, plus the couple of feet to the lot that the house is actually sitting on. So I got a little bit of arm and leg room on each side. If I can keep people off of my property. I noticed the realtor over here that's got this house for sale, this one beside me that I had so much trouble with. She pulled my stake up the other day and threw it over on my property. And she told somebody she didn't want it there. Well, tough. She came on my property, pull up my fence post, and throw it over on my lot. And that's illegal. She can't do that. I went over there and put it back. She wasn't there, but I went over there and put it back. And I noticed since then, she must have got the surveyor back, because the surveying stakes with the orange flags are over there now. And they're in between her fence and my line that I put up. So she can see she's only got a couple of inches between her fence and the property line. There's not enough room for her to make a walking path through there. And they tried to tell her that. She thinks she can let people that buy that house have the right of way to walk outside the fence and go back to the back and do whatever they want to do. Well, no, they can't, because if they do that, they're on my property when they're doing it. So I think she's finally got it in her head, that you only own 50 feet across. You own about 5 feet on each side of that house, and that's it, lady. You can't park on my lot. You can't come over on my lot. You can't cut any more trees down on my lot. You can't throw any more of your garbage over on my lot. I've had my fill of that. Yeah, ironing. I've still got my iron. I keep it because just in case I need it, I've got it. You know, most people use those steamers now, and they just hang their dress or their shirt up on a hanger, and they take that steamer and run it up and down it, and it gets every one of the wrinkles out. I've never tried one of them. I've seen them used in videos, and they look great. Trump is king of the world. Well, I don't know about that. I have 3 lots also. I have a creek that runs through my property, so the section of my lot on the other side of the creek is too small and can't be developed, but great for a spot park. Huh. But they only own 5 feet from the side of the house on either side, and then they got the fence. They don't own anything outside that fence. But on the other side, they cut all the trees down all the way the length of the house for several feet, and they got rock put down there, you know, like the road rock. The owner doesn't live here. He doesn't know what they've done to his lot over there. And the people on the other side have been using it for a parking lot. If he ever finds out what they've been doing, they're liable to be all in trouble. Because, I mean, you can't take over somebody's lot just because the owner's not using it for anything. It still belongs to someone else, and you're trespassing. You like ironing more than steaming, it's more satisfying. Like I said, I've never tried a steamer. I usually buy everything that, all of my clothes mostly you don't have to iron. There's only maybe 1 or 2 blouses that I've got that I would really have to worry about ironing. And then most of the time I don't even have to iron those. But I remember when I was like 12, 13 years old, I was helping Mama iron one day. She was busy in the kitchen, and so I started finishing ironing for her. And I'd pick up the iron with my left hand, and I was ironing away. And then I'd switch and I'd iron with my right hand. And my mom said, "Linda, what are you doing?" I looked at her confused. It's like, "I'm ironing, Mom. I'm just ironing." "I know," she said, "but you're ironing with your left hand, and then you switch and you're doing it with your right hand. How do you do that?" I said, "I've always done it." Well, I'm ambidextrous. She didn't realize that. And here I am, 11, 12 years old. But I'm ambidextrous. I'm mostly left-handed, but I do a lot of things right-handed, just like right-handed people do. I have tried several steamers. They don't work as well as an iron. Well, good. I know I'll never buy one. But yeah, years and years ago, I'd get jobs as a cashier. And, you know, you have to run the cash register right-handed. And you're pulling the stuff across the counter left-handed. Well, I never had any problem doing that because I'm ambidextrous. I could just type in everything on the register with my right hand, move stuff along with my left hand. When it came to verifying a check, I'd use my left hand to write with. And even the customers would question it. They say, "Oh my God." And I'd look at them like in shock, like, "What? Like, what did I do?" And they'd say, "You're running the register right-handed, but you're writing left-handed. How do you do that?" I said, "I'm ambidextrous. I use both right and left." I'm right-handed, but when I was a kid, I broke my wrist at 2 different times. And when I broke my dominant wrist, I had to learn how to write with my left hand. My son would have been left-handed, but, and my ex-husband used to make me so mad. We were married at that time. And my son would be in the high chair, and he'd pick up his spoon or his fork to eat his food left-handed. Well, my ex-husband, he'd slap his hand and take it away from him and make him hold it right-handed. So he made him be right-handed. When if he'd have left him alone, he'd have been left-handed, and he would have been fine. It used to make me mad, though, but, there wasn't a whole lot I could do about it. I mean, I let my daughter use either hand she wanted to use to eat with, and I'd do the same with my son, but my ex-husband wasn't having no part of that. He was going to be right-handed. Everything in this world's for a right-handed person. I said, well, I'm left-handed, and I survived. But then I'm ambidextrous, so I use both hands. I'd always pitch ball, playing softball, right-handed. I'd usually dribble the basketball, right-handed. But, I never noticed it because I didn't know any difference. To me, I figured I was just like everybody else. Everybody did that, right? Until it was pointed out to me, no, you're different. You're using both hands. Most people can't do that. Well, I write basically left-handed. I can write right-handed, but it looks like scribbly-do. I have a better handwriting with my left hand. Your twin is left-handed, Paula? And there's Wilson. He's back. Love me some Linda's house. Huh? I don't quite understand that comment, but oh well. Yeah, if I don't change my mind and they don't cancel, I'll be going to an association meeting tomorrow night. So I'm not going to have a live on Thursday night like I normally do. And if I did, it would be much later. And so I don't know that I'm going to do it. Oh, you got a phone call, Wilson? And I don't know what happened to Dennis. He's not been coming into my lives after he called that welfare check on me. I mean, it was all right. Nobody's mad at him. I thought it was kind of cute. I said it was nice to know somebody cared. Really? It looked like your aunt's handwriting. And most people, they say that I've seen write left-handed turn their hand around like this, almost like writing upside down. I don't do that. I hold my pen or pencil just like anybody right-handed would hold it. I don't turn my hand upside down to try to write. Yes, they did, Wilson. I opened the door and I was shocked. There was a cop standing there, and he looked at me and he realized that I was like, what have I done? Why have I got the cops at my door? And he says, oh, ma'am, you're not in trouble. Nothing's wrong. He said, I'm just here for a welfare check. You had somebody call that requested a welfare check. So I'm here just to make sure you're okay. Yeah, he turned his hand inward. I don't. I hold my hand straight up. I mean, when I'm writing, I'm just like this. And a lot of people that are left-handed turn it hands up like that. I don't. I write just like that. Just like most people do if they're right-handed. I don't know that I do that. He might really get mad if I did that. Yeah, that's what I said. I guess it's nice to know somebody cared enough to make sure I was okay. But he's been posting videos and shorts and stuff, so I'm sure he's okay. Wonder where Gladys is tonight. I don't think I've seen her come into chat. And I think she sent me a message. I hope I see you in live tonight, so I don't know where she's at. Yeah, that's what I figured. He was just worried because normally he told them, he said, well, she always goes live on Thursday nights. And most of the time she's been going live almost every night. And all of a sudden she stopped and I'm worried about her. Just wanted to make sure she's okay. I said, well, that's the first welfare check I've ever had happen. Thursday night, the other night when I didn't have my trivia night, I should have went live and I didn't. And he was wondering what happened to me. I didn't have it scheduled or anything. And I figured usually as long as I don't schedule it, you're not going to expect me to go live, unless I just do it all of a sudden. Yeah, I guess I'm loved, aren't I, Allie Oop? I haven't seen Edith either. I don't know where Edith is. Edith, Dennis, Gladys, they're not here. Oh my goodness, Jana, bypass surgery tomorrow. And there's Patty C. Hi, Linda. I'm glad you're okay. I just got home from Wilmington, visiting my daughter, looking at wedding dresses. Oh, wow, that was fun. Well, Jana, yeah, we can pray for your friend. Let's all take a few minutes and just say a prayer. Dear Lord, bless her friend. Watch over them when they're in their surgery tomorrow. Make sure they're okay. Make sure their surgery goes fine and they recover well. And bless anybody else that has a health problem or maybe undergoing surgery tomorrow or anytime this week. Look after them and make sure they're okay and they recover well. Amen. There you go. That was quick, but hey, it was a prayer. Beauty 27, new subscriber. Welcome. I sure do have roses in my garden. I love roses. I've got knockout roses. I got the shocking pink roses, and I've got the lighter pink roses, and I've got one white rose bush or yellow rose. I call it my yellow rose of Texas because when it first opens, it's kind of yellow, and then when it's open full bloom, it's more of a white color. You're welcome, Jana. And there's Batman. You must be a new subscriber. Welcome. If y'all saw that short video I posted this afternoon of it raining, the storm, that's the way it looked out here most of the day today. Hello from Gotham. Well, hello, Batman in Gotham. Yeah, I mean, Dennis nor Gladys were expecting me to go live tonight, but I did get a message from Gladys on one of the videos. She says, I hope I see you tonight and live. So I don't know where she might be. And same bat time. Batman says, I'm really sad, Mom. Why are you sad, Batman? What's going on that you're sad? I'm far away from my family and my girl died last month. Your girlfriend, oh my goodness, where are you at right now, Batman? And why did your girl die? Is this your girlfriend or she was my only Batwoman? I'm in Dublin, Ireland. Oh, I'm so sorry that you lost your Batwoman, and I'm sad that you're away from your family. Where's your family at? Batman comes on here in San Antonio on MTV, MeTV. Where are you originally from, Batman, that you're away from your family? My family's in Pakistan. I'm all alone. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jana's been going through that too. She lost her husband just not long ago. So Batman and Jana have something in common. There's Gladys. We were all wondering where you were. Everybody says, "Where's Gladys? Where's Gladys?" I said, "I don't know." I haven't seen Edith. I haven't seen Dennis. I ate my last two pieces of my pizza that I baked from that video for dinner tonight and a small bowl of banana pudding. She died in a car accident. Oh, that's so sad. And I bet she wasn't very old either. Probably real young. Just 26 years old. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. Yeah, Wilson's lost a lot of his family this past year or so. But 26 years old. I mean, she hadn't even lived her life yet. She was just starting good. That's sad. Even we got same birth month. I'm thinking, what will I do in June? Oh, you'll make it. It's going to be rough, but you will. And Jana's making it too. She knows it's rough, but she's hanging in there. You'll be okay. You can eat warm, but my banana pudding was made with an instant pudding mix, Cool Whip, and vanilla wafers and bananas. It was not cooked at all. It was made with cold milk and that banana pudding mix. So it was cold to begin with. It never got hot. It never got cooked. But it's better to leave it sitting in the little bowls for several hours for those crackers to soak up a little bit of the pudding moisture to where it softens the crackers, the vanilla wafers. That way you can eat it easier, and it's so good when they're soft. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about if you've eaten banana pudding. You know, those wafers are kind of hard. But if you leave them in that pudding a little while, they'll soften up. And there's MTV, or MT, not MTV, and Joanne. I mean, you can eat both. You can eat it warm and you can eat it cold, but if you saw my video, you'll see that I didn't cook any of it. It was made from a mix. Everything was all cold to start with. Oh, I'm so sorry, Batman. You were going to propose on her birthday, which is in June. Well, I'm just so sorry. And there's Darlene. Hello, Darlene. But the Lord above has another plan for you, Batman. There'll be somebody else in your life eventually. I don't know when, how long it'll be, but you'll make it. Just hang in there. Yeah, I'm happy my plant survived the storm too. My poor shade cloth has got a beating, I'll tell you. Well, you're welcome here anytime, Batman. In any of my lives you want to come in on, we will chat with you. Oh, my back is itching. I need my back scratcher over here. I know it has to be hard for you. I have experienced it, still experience. Yeah, Jana lost her husband of many years suddenly. But with her, at least they had all those years, you know. Whereas you didn't have time with your girlfriend. Yeah, life is hard sometimes. I'll tell you, life is unforgiving. Life does not care. Life is hard. Yeah, I was stressed out, barely being able to cope with everything going on in my life. So I started back gardening. And gardening, I feel like, is what saved my life. That plus getting into my YouTube videos. Because, especially after starting the YouTube videos, it kept me busy. I was not only working in my garden, which I would have done anyway, but I was doing videos, which kept me even more busy. So it got my mind on my videos and my gardening and off of all the stuff that was stressing me out. And just like I told Jana, it hurts. And right now, you think it's so hard that you lost her so suddenly. There's nothing you can do about it. It hurts terribly. But you'll make it. You'll hang in there. You'll make it. It gets better. The pain never goes away. The loss never goes away, but it gets better. And you can deal with it better in time. Oh, your birthday is on June 7th. My birthday is May 7th. It's next week. So our birthdays are a month apart. Yeah, I spend time with thousands of my closest friends because I feel like if you're in my live and you subscribe to my videos, you're my friend. Except for the trolls. And they just come in for attention. Yeah, life is not guaranteed. You know, have no guarantees in this life. And there's Kimberly. Hello, Kimberly. You have to live every day, make the best of every day because you're not guaranteed any length of time. You don't know when your time has come, and when it comes, there's nothing you can do. I feel fortunate that I've made it this far. You know, I mean, there's so many people that don't even make it till their teenage years. Some people don't make it past 18 or 19. And like his girlfriend, she was 26 years old, died in a car crash. Well, thank you, Batman. We try. Everybody that is in my lives, my subscribers, they're respectful people. It's only the trolls that come in that are disrespectful, and we get rid of them real fast. You're going to be 30 next month, so you think you're getting old? I wish I sometimes think I'd be like to be 30 years old again. But I don't know if I'd want to go back through all those years or not. Cute story, when my nephew was about 8 or so, his grandmother was ironing. Nan. Yeah, I just act like a child when she's around me. Get all giddy, huh? He said, Nana, what is that thing? It was an iron. My dad's mom used to have a wood stove, and she had one of those irons that you had to put on the stove to get it hot and then iron your clothes with it. You know, it was made kind of like a regular iron, but it was cast iron. It didn't hold water or anything. It wasn't a steam iron, and you just put it on the stove, got it real hot, and then ironed your clothes with it. Okay, Batman, well, you have a blessed night, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. That's what I tell everybody. My sister-in-law, his mom never ironed. Yep, Gladys, you're here today, gone tomorrow, and life is not guaranteed. There's only one guarantee in life. You're born and you will die. But you don't know when or how, but you will die. One day you will die. That is a given. That is a guarantee. You're not going to live forever. You just don't know when, where, or how. Yeah, everybody say a prayer for Batman and his loss. And to be by himself, is no family close to him. That's even worse. Yeah, they sprinkle the clothes with a little bit of water and then take that hot iron and go over them. Right. People in their 30s might not know what a rotary phone is. They don't even know what a house phone is. They've never seen one that plugs into the wall. The only phone they know is a cell phone. When I was substitute teaching, I was in, I think it was either middle school or junior high. And we got to talking about progress and computers and phones and one thing or another. And I said I still had a house phone. And one of the kids in the class said, well, what is a house phone? I said a house phone was before cell phones, and it's plugged into the wall. You don't take it and go outside and go in your car and go everywhere with the phone. It can only work as far as your house. I've never seen one of those. And I said, most of them you have to. Some of them, the newer ones, had push button dials, but the old rotary phones, it had a dial that you had to turn. Put your finger in the number and turn it around. Put your finger in the number and turn it around. I said, I've never seen one of those. And that was not that many years ago. Janice said, oh my God, my grandmother had one of those. I don't know. I haven't seen Edith. She's probably not looking for us tonight, or she might be in another live somewhere. I haven't used starch, spray starch, or irons in ages. But like I said, I've still got it here in case I need it, but I don't use it. Because most things that they make today is made out of fabric that doesn't need ironing. And since I'm retired, I basically live in denim shorts and t-shirts, and you don't iron either one. Of course, now the cowboys out here take their jeans to the laundromat and they have them starched and pressed. And when they wear them, they got this stiff crease right down the front and the back. Because when they're dressed up, they're in their blue jeans and their cowboy shirt and their cowboy hat. I used to iron my jeans because my daughter wanted hers ironed, and I ironed mine for a while. But then after they were out of school and they moved away, got their own homes, I didn't even iron jeans anymore. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not starching and ironing my jeans. Not anymore. Yeah, if you had a cordless house phone, you were in high cotton. Now, my house phone is cordless. The one up here is not. It's plugged into the wall. So you can't go any further than that cord will take you. But the only reason I've got it is to get my internet and TV and Wi-Fi down at a lower price. It was in a bundle. You had to keep your house phone in the bundle to get the low price, so I kept it. I use my cell phone all the time. I never use the house phone. And I was going to put a random phone number in the area code. I was at my grandmother's and was talking to a lady in Alaska. Oh my God. I bet your grandmother didn't like her phone bill. I can't imagine what the charge to talk to Alaska would have been if it was the regular old-timey phone. No, she did not. I remember those old pay phones. If you had a quarter, you could dial somewhere. Yeah, rotary phone. Looks like I got about 50 some people in here. 51 watching. It was a rotary phone. That made me think of my granddaughter when she was just a toddler. She got hold of the remote control for the TV and she locked it. She punched in the right sequence of numbers that it locked the remote control. My son went in there to change channels and he couldn't change channels. He couldn't turn the TV off or on. He said it took him forever to get it unlocked. He said, how in the world did she ever come up with the code, the right sequence of numbers to get the phone, to get that remote locked? I said, well, that's what you just said. She just punched in the right numbers. She didn't know one number from the other. She was just punching buttons. But she got the right combination in there that it locked it. Joanne said her grandmother's desk phone weighed a ton. Well, every payphone that I've ever used, it was like 25 or 30 cents for the first minute or two. And then it would tell you your time is up to insert more coins. So you had to keep feeding it. The longer you talk, the more money you put in. I bet most of the payphones today that are like at the airport and different places probably take credit cards. I haven't used one of those phones in so long, I don't even know if they still take coins or not. Just like the drink machines, you can put credit cards in them now. The phones may do that. And the people that used to live here in this place before I moved in, they had a red phone. And it was hanging on the wall up there. And they left it when they left. So when I had my phone service turned on, I had my phone, a red phone. And some guy from the phone company a couple of years later, they had to come in the house to check the lines or something. He said, "Lady, you got a red phone." I said, "I know. You're not supposed to have a red phone. Nobody's supposed to have a red phone except fire department or the government." And he took my red phone and they gave me another one, a black phone or a white one, I don't remember. That made me mad. I said, "What difference does it make? It's in a private residence and it's red. That don't mean I'm doing anything illegal or government with it." Oh, yes, I remember that. And I remember where you could, like if you were away from home, you could call someone and have them to charge that long distance call to your house phone number. Now, you can't do that today, but you could then. And people that worked for me at Walmart when I was a manager, they were using my phone number to do that. They were calling somebody, I don't know, in Mexico or where it was. They ran my phone bill almost up to $200 that one month. $250, I think it was. And it was all to 2 or 3 numbers that they were calling and having it charged to my phone number. And I called the phone company and they found out who it was, and it was the women that worked for me. 2 Mexican ladies. It was a girl and her aunt. And I confronted them one day at work. And I said, "What gives you the right to make long distance calls on my phone?" "Well, we had to make the calls." I said, "You had to make multiple calls over a month's time that averaged up to about $250 on my phone." "Well, we had to make the calls." "Not on my phone, you don't." And the phone company said, "Do you want to press charges? What do you want to do about it?" I said, "Do whatever you need to do about it. I don't appreciate people charging on my phone." And that was the last I heard for it. They said they were going to take care of it. And that they would, get that off my phone bill, that I would not have to pay for it, that they would pay it. And after that, they didn't come back to work anymore, so I guess they quit. They knew they were in trouble over charging on my phone. Yeah, that's stealing. That's downright stealing. Yeah, I don't know where my friends that used to live in this house got that red phone from, but that was the one they were using here. And when they left, they said they didn't need it, so they left it. And I used it for several years, and then I was having trouble with the phone line. And the phone technician come in here to check the inside lines. And he saw that red phone. He said, "Lady, you can't have a red phone." I said, "Why not?" I said, "Because red phones are just for the government or fire department or something." I said, "Well, that's crazy." But he took my phone and gave me another one. I didn't appreciate that. Didn't like it at all. I just thought it was a novelty having a red phone because I knew nobody else had one. But I thought that was wrong, that they didn't have a right to take my phone. Okay, Gladys. Well, I hope your head feels better. Yeah, he probably wanted it for himself. Well, God bless you, Gladys, and I hope your headache goes away soon. I'm not going to spray paint my phone. We mostly use cell phones now. I got the house phone up there, but I don't really use it. I mean, it rings all the time, but it's usually salespeople and stuff. I should unplug it. I can still keep the service in the bundle to get it cheaper and just unplug the phone, but You had a blue phone and a white one. I think they ended up giving me a white phone in place of it. One just like it, but it was white. Yeah. Me, I got a landline. But like I said, I've only got it because I get my internet and my TV service at a lower price to have it bundled. And to have the bundle, you had to have Wi-Fi, uh, cable television, and your phone service all in a bundle. And I still get it cheaper to keep that phone line, so I keep it. The phone line is only $19 a month, but it lowers everything else. So, and if I got rid of it, oh my God, they would triple my cable bill. I mean, I use my cell phone for everything. What would you do with the landline phone, Wilson? Darlene said, Linda, did you try the pasting? What? I don't know what you're asking, Darlene. Pasting? Oh no, the pastini pots. No, I haven't tried it yet. No, it won't. If my power goes out, the phone goes out. But I still got my cell phone. My house phone's here in the kitchen, and it looks like one of those office phones. Oh, I don't know if I can show it to you or not. I can't move it down here. The line is not long enough to move it down. No, that's the thing about these house phones. They're hooked to electricity. If the power goes out, you don't have a phone. Darlene tried the instant grits, but she's not a fan. She didn't like the texture. Yes, I'm in a mobile home, B and Maddie. Let me see if I can show it to you. Oh, my goodness, my bones are popping. There's my phone. It's one of the old-timey desk type phones. And I've got another one. It's they were called princess phones. They're real streamlined phones that hang on the wall or you can put on the desk. And that's the way the red one was. It was one of the princess streamlined phones. You can either lay it on the desk or you could hang it on the wall. And mine was hanging on the wall over here. B and Maddie says I'm in one too. I've lived in a mobile home all my married life and single life now, except for 1 year that we lived in Oak Island at the beach, and we lived in a beach house. I loved living there. I didn't want to leave, y'all. I loved living 2 blocks from the ocean. I get up in the morning when I didn't work and I could do my housework. Take Chad when he was just a baby, put him in his stroller, push him down 2 blocks, and we'd be on the beach strand picking up shells. Yours is 16 by 66. Well, yours is bigger than mine, B and Maddie. Mine is only 12 wide by 65 feet long. Mine's not cordless either, Tamara, but the electricity goes out, the phone goes out. Because the phone is operated by electricity. It knocks out the phone line. That's one reason I'm glad they came out with cell phones, because, if my phone goes out, the electricity goes out, and my phone goes out here in the house, I still have my phone service through my cell phone. I don't know how your home phone works with no electricity. MT said, I like the older mobile homes. Yeah, I don't know how your home phone works with no electricity. None of the house phones I've ever had worked if the electric was off. Janice says, I live right here with the Atlantic Ocean 10 minutes away, and I don't get over there often. Huh. Well, our beach house was just 2 blocks off of the ocean. So I could come out my front door, walk down 2 blocks, because I'd walk down to the end of my street and there was a big park. I walk past the park and I'm right on the ocean strand, the beach. I love living there. And sometimes you could hear the ocean waves crashing at your house. You could hear the ocean. I told my husband when we first moved here, I said, I can't live here. I can't hear the ocean. It's too quiet. He said, we have no water around. He said, well, you got the lake. I said, yeah, but it's a lot further than just 2 blocks away from the house. And you don't hear the ocean waves on the lake. Yeah, I don't know how a house phone works with no electricity. Yeah, it may be some kind of an older phone that was really not like the house phone. It was more of a cell phone type. I don't know. Oh, my bell service. I don't know. I've never had my bell, so I don't know. Yeah, I can unplug this one from the wall and it's not going to work. It cuts electricity off to it and it will not work. It's deader than a doornail. Well, thank you, B and Maddie. Say, I lived in a regular home too until I babysat my granddaughter. Sold my house and moved to Lancaster 14 years ago. 83 now and still healthy and love life. You're a joy to watch in your videos. Thank you so much for that compliment. Hi, Wilson. What have you done with Dennis, Wilson? What have you done with Edith? But y'all remember, there's probably not going to be a live tomorrow night because I don't have one scheduled. I'm going to a meeting tomorrow night at that time, so I'm not going to be home. I've got messages from him. He apologized for having the welfare check on me, but he's not been back in any of my lives since then. But he's been posting videos and shorts, so I know he must be okay. I experienced my first garden tub visiting my dad's brother and family. It was a double wide and I loved it. My brother and his wife had a big garden tub in their big manufactured home they had in North Carolina. That thing holds a lot of water. It had a jacuzzi type tub, garden tub in it, big enough for 2 people with the jets in the bottom and the sides. You also love RVs. Darlene said, my landline works if we lose power. Princess phone, not the cordless ones. I don't know. Mine don't. When my power went out, my phone went out. My house phone went out. There was no power going to it, so it didn't work. That was a bad thing. When we have storms out here and your power goes out, your house phone does not work. It's dead. But if you got a cell phone, at least you got cell service. Huh. It must be the type of phone service you got that it's not run into the electricity or something. Because mine is plugged into the phone receptacle. And then you got another cord that runs and you plug into an electrical outlet. So if the electricity goes, your phone dies. That's interesting. My electricity goes out, my Wi-Fi is dead. Now my phone will pick up Wi-Fi from somewhere else if there's anybody close by with open Wi-Fi. Like when I go into town, my Wi-Fi switches over and it'll pick up the most or the closest Wi-Fi to my phone when I go out to town. Okay, Jana, you have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. We'll see you next time. We all say prayers for you. I don't remember who it was, but they sent me a message telling me when their electricity goes off, they lose power to everything. No phone, no nothing. No, they said they were sickly and they were on oxygen. And when their power goes off, of course, they don't have oxygen. And I told them as often as they lose power, they need to get a small generator. Because if they had a small generator, it would at least run their oxygen. So I don't know if they'll do that or not. Yeah, maybe it's battery backup or something. Mine doesn't have battery backup on it. They're moderators, Darlene, the people with the blue wrenches. They're moderators on my channel. They can get rid of the trolls when they come into chat. Would you like to be a moderator? Well, see, yeah, my phone will work if the Wi-Fi is off. I just can't pick up Wi-Fi on my phone. But my house phone don't work. Once electricity goes off, the house phone is dead. Darlene, would you like to have a blue wrench? Let's see. I just added you as a moderator, Darlene. The next couple of times you post a message, your name should be in blue. And I got to do something with my pumpkin vine. It's growing across the yard and it's fixing to go up the tree. I guess I probably should let it go up the tree because I don't have another support for it to go up. You still have old style phone and wiring that works without electricity. Really? I've not seen any phone here that'll work without electricity. Not with this phone company. Not unless it's a cell phone. They're doing good. I've got blooms on a couple of them. Even as there's maybe 2 leaves on the little plant and there's blooms on it already. So I don't know if it'll produce a strawberry, but it's got blooms. You know, my plants were nothing but little bare roots, and they seem to be growing pretty good. They're just not very big. They really ought to jump for joy after all this rain and the calcium and fertilizer and stuff I gave them. Not really, Tamara. If wishes came true, I'd love to win the lottery, but I don't even buy lottery tickets. Or maybe Elon Musk will give me some of his money. There's been posts on Facebook supposedly being Elon Musk making the post to where if you type in done, like in the comments, he'll send you X amount of dollars. Well, that hasn't happened yet, and I've been answering every one of his little posts. But, you know, I know it's not him. It's somebody else. And there's Caleb. Hello, Caleb. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Of course, I haven't been live very much lately. You're welcome, darling. Yeah, I've bought them in the years past, like 1 or 2 little plants. And some of them would live through the summer and then they died. And I bought bare roots one time and planted them, and they didn't even produce a leaf. They just withered up and blew away. They went into dust. But these strawberry plants are looking pretty good. No, I don't have chickens. My neighbor has chickens. I've never had chickens of my own, so I don't know much about. Well, I know you feed them and what you feed them and all that, but you know, I don't have a chicken house. I don't have a chicken run, and I'd have to have all that stuff put up to have chickens. I wouldn't mind having the eggs from the chickens, but I can't move a 50-pound bag of chicken feed, so. My son has chickens, and I've gotten a few eggs from him now and then when I go over there. And my neighbor gave me eggs one time. And he said now he's selling them because he's got extra. They're getting tired of eggs. He's been selling them for $3 a dozen, which isn't too bad. Only thing I told him right then, I had plenty of eggs because I got like 18 in one carton and a dozen in another when I went to my son's house the other day. Yeah, I know. These were not supposed to produce strawberries until June, so they've still got a whole month to go. I think they produce them in June, and then they're the everbearing type. I'm not sure. There's Edith. Yeah, my power's back on. And I got my car out to Nissan, and they couldn't find anything wrong with it except the battery cable was loose. So I don't know. It's been working fine the last couple of times I went in there to go anywhere. So we'll see how long it lasts. Yeah, we were wondering about you, Edith. We're still wondering about Dennis. He hasn't showed up. Oh, no. Well, I put mine in the raised beds that I've got a cover for. So I'm thinking, and I'm putting straw on them too. When it starts getting cold weather, I can cover my strawberry beds with the plastic covers. And you can unzip the windows so you can keep them watered, or, the rain will go in there when you want it to. Or you can close it up and zipper the windows up and nothing will get in there at all. So I'm hoping I'll be able to keep them over the winter and they'll sprout out come spring next year. Edith said she was at the strip club. Yeah, that's where we thought you were. We thought that's where you were, Edith. I'm surprised you left. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I get enough strawberries, I might be able to make some strawberry jelly or strawberry jam or something. Or strawberry preserves. I love to make a strawberry cake and use strawberry preserves as the icing on the layers. Makes a really good cake. Can make you a strawberry upside down cake. We had a storm all day today, Caleb. It rained hard all day long here. It stopped. It's not raining now, but it did all day. So my garden ought to grow like crazy the next couple of days. Edith, she forgot to pick me up too, Tamara. And I know Gladys would be ready to go. We got both Tamaras in the house. Oh my God, Wilson's back on pig's feet and jar of pig's feet. Oh no, Tamara, 30 below zero last night killed the strawberries. Oh no. No rain in San Antonio. Well, you might get some later this week. I don't know which direction it was going when it left here. My potato plants are looking real good. I don't know how long it'll be before I'll be able to get any potatoes from them, but the plants are looking great. And I got tomatoes on several plants. I mean, big clumps, clusters of tomatoes, but they're not ripe yet. They're all green. You love strawberry jam and apple butter. Great on cottage cheese and toast, of course. Well, watermelon rind jam is really good. I made some this past year for my watermelons. And I've still got some in the refrigerator that I took out and I put it on toast. It's so good. You never would think that Oh, green looking watermelon rind would make good jelly, but it does. Kimberly said her husband loves fried green tomatoes. Well, I'm waiting for mine to ripen up. You know, the first big tomato I get, guess what? I'm doing a video on a BLT. I'll have lettuce and tomato from my garden on toast to make me a BLT with. And there's Ellie Wren. Hello, Ellie. Yeah, 30 below. That's pretty cold. Well, thank you. It's the humidity. My hair is curly. It frizzes up when it's rainy. Eda says, I'd sure pick you ladies up. Yeah, I forget where Tamara lives that it would be 30 below. Wow. That's got to be Alaska, Canada, or somewhere. Oh, not last night, last winter. I'm in Ohio. I thought you were in the States, but I thought to myself, where in the States would it get 30 below? Have trivia tonight at McDonald's. Why? Why would I want to do it at McDonald's? Thank you, Kaylin. Iowa. Yeah, I didn't think it even got down to 30 below in Iowa. I've never been to Iowa, though, so I don't know. Was it Minnesota that's really cold all the time? Something different. Yeah, I've got a lot of tomato plants that don't have tomatoes, but they're blooming. And then I've got a bunch of those first tomato plants that I planted that are full of green tomatoes. And they should be the bigger tomatoes, you know, not the little grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. They're a bigger tomato, like Celebrity's beefsteak. Well, thank you, Kaylin. I've been in Denver, Colorado one time before. I went when I was 13. Well, I went to Colorado one time with a friend of mine who owned property up there. It was 105 here in Texas. We drove across the desert to go to Colorado. Once we hit Colorado real good. The weather started cooling off. And up where his property was, you had to wear a sweater. It seemed so good to get out of 105-degree weather, I tell you. No, it doesn't. That's what I like about it. It's insulated enough. There's no condensation on the outside. It never gets wet. And it keeps my drink cold. Keeps ice in it all night, 24 hours. It sure can. Usually 20, 25 below is our coldest. Wow. Yeah, I've got beefsteak tomato plants out there that should be getting tomatoes on them pretty soon. I think one or two of them already have little bitty ones on them. I've got those I can't think of the name of it. Ponderosa pink tomato plants. I got a couple of those. I've got purple bell peppers planted. And I have yet to see a purple bell pepper, so I hope it will produce one this year. And I've got so many different tomato plants. I've got the grape tomatoes, the little cherry tomatoes. And then, like I said, I got the beefsteak, I got the celebrity, I got the slicer tomatoes. And they're being planted all at different times, you know, so I should get tomatoes all summer. Right on through till the first freeze of the winter. Which fruit is your favorite in the summer season? Probably my tomatoes. It would be my raspberries if I get raspberries this year. But I think the birds have been picking off the seeds before they could turn to a raspberry. But I put up my CDs in the one aluminum pie pan hanging on the arbor up there to keep the birds away, and see if I get raspberries this year. Because I'll not only be able to make raspberry jam, but I can make strawberry jam, raspberry jam. Denver radio station is KOA AM. I love the asparagus, but I need to plant more because I've been breaking that asparagus off as fast as it will grow to eat just as I walk by the tub. So I haven't been able to cook any. I eat it as fast as it comes up. So I need to plant more. I've got eggplants. I've got the Casper eggplants, you know, the white ones. And I've got the Black Beauty eggplants. I love those. I've got big deal cucumbers. I've got zucchini. I've got yellow squash, peas, strawberries, turnips, beets, yellow beets, red beets. I haven't harvested any of them yet. Carrots. Got a little bit of everything out there. We'll see what does what this year. And that pumpkin plant that vine is growing like crazy. It's overpowering my watermelons. So I don't know if my watermelons will do anything this year. That pumpkin vine is taking over. It's talk radio in Denver. Oh, okay. I've got a video on the green tomato chow chow I did last year. And I think I did one this year Well, last summer. If you'll look back at my older videos, maybe a year or two ago, you'll find a video on me making green tomato chow chow. I like the first recipe, the one I did about a year or so ago, better than the one I did last year. I'm not going to make any more like I did last year. It's too salty. But the first recipe that I did about a year or so ago, oh, it's so good. I love it. It's almost like pickle relish, but it's green tomatoes. It's chow chow with, onions and stuff chopped up in it. It's really good. And I'll probably do another chow chow video the end of the summer when I have green tomatoes before our first freeze. I'd rather have my chow chow than to have pickle relish. Because it tastes almost like a sweet pickle relish, the chow chow does. That first recipe I used. Wilson says, I might go to my upcoming class reunion, class of 1984, MacArthur High School. Well, why don't you? You need to go and see all your old classmates. You probably won't recognize any of them. I've never have been able to go to any of my class reunions. They've had several over the years, and they sent me a notification of it, but I've never gotten to go since I live in Texas and they have the reunion in North Carolina. Network problems, Caleb? I don't know. I'm not having any network problems here. Linda Foster said, my mother was raised in Park Springs, Texas, and she used to make green tomato chow chow. She passed away in 2018 at 91. Wow. I bet she made some good tomato chow chow. Might be your first reunion. Well, my brother organizes get-togethers with all the friends and classmates and stuff. Not really a reunion, but anybody that wants to come, almost like once a month, they pick a restaurant and they reserve tables and they all show up and visit with one another. I've never been able to make it home when they had one of those either. Maybe one day. Yeah, you need to go if it's right there in San Antonio. Like me, I'd have to go all the way to North Carolina from Texas. That's a long way to go for a class reunion. That's a big expense on my part, and I can't afford it. But if they were right here in Granbury, I'd sure go. It was good. That's why you're looking for the recipe. Oh my, we've been another 15 minutes and we've been on here 2 hours. Time flies when you're having fun, when you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, hopefully I'll get more tomatoes this year than I did last year. And I'll have more green, red tomatoes, ripe tomatoes to make recipes with. I'll have more green tomatoes at the end of the summer to make a ton of chow chow. I hope. It looks like I'm going to have plenty of bell pepper. I don't know about hot peppers this year. None of my jalapenos want to come up. I planted tons of jalapeno seed. None of them have come up yet. Maybe it has not been hot enough for those pepper seeds to come up. They'll probably all come up at one time and I'll have be overrun with hot peppers and nowhere to put them. I put your relish chow chow on pretty much everything. And there's Cheryl Raybun. Hello. Welcome, Cheryl. How are you doing? Yeah, there's not going to be as many lives as I've been having because I've just been too busy with the garden and everything. And then too tired, like me almost falling asleep in a live one night. I don't want to do that many more times. Don't want to ever do it again. But that's how tired I was. So I'm doing great. I've had a long, relaxing day today because it's rained all day. We've had a storm here today with flash flood warnings. Okay, Gladys. She said she's here just watching. How's your head? Your head still hurting? Gladys has had a headache. Oh, me. I'm sleepy right now. Oh. As long as I don't fall asleep in my mashed potatoes. Yeah, because I love tons of butter and gravy on my mashed potatoes. That'd be messy. Are you smoking sometime? I don't smoke, Caleb. If you're asking me if I smoke cigarettes, I don't smoke. I'm allergic to cigarettes and smoke and all that. Can't even be around anybody smoking. Oh, me. That'd be funny. You fall asleep and your head goes in a pile of mashed potatoes with butter and gravy on it. Oh my. Oh, not yet. You're drinking coconut water. There's Neckbone Grizzle. McGrizzle. Hello, Neckbone. What have you been up to? And there's Ma Sokolis. Good evening from Newport, Vermont. Well, good evening to you, Ma. Welcome. Glad you came into the live chat. Mark is your name, not Ma. Well, it says Ma. It doesn't say Mark. What do you mean I'm the goat? Smoking a cigar in the back. You are smoking. Well, evidently you're smoking a cigar in the backyard. Neckbone. Okay, I'm sorry, but here when it's spelled Eli, it's Ellie. But yours is Eli. Okay, I'll remember that, Eli. I'm sorry. GOAT stands for greatest of all time. Well, thank you for that. I wanted Mark, but I forgot that it all. So it's Mark Sokolis. And I probably don't pronounce that last name correct either, but oh well. Not many names I pronounce correctly anyway. That's okay, Mark. I'll just know now it's Mark, not Ma. Sometimes with some of these names other end. Oh, my pizza was great. I ate the last two pieces for dinner tonight, and I ate a little bowl of my banana pudding for dessert tonight. It was so good. Maureen Cooper says, I love summer here in Cape May, New Jersey. Well, hello, Maureen from Cape May, New Jersey. Mark said he wanted some. Well, sorry. You'll have to make you some. It's real easy. Hi, Maureen. How are you? Oh, me. So what we doing tonight? We've already been doing it. We've been just chit-chatting, catching up, and all that kind of thing. I don't like artificial intelligence when it comes to computers. I'd rather have human stupidity instead. Joanne, oh my goodness. Watching TV. My TV's not even on. I'm watching the live chat go across my computer screen. Oh, Marine's going through lots, getting new battery for my car this week. Ugh. Yeah, I got my car out to Nissan Monday, and they checked everything they could check, and they said they could find nothing wrong. The only thing they found was the cable on the battery. One of them was loose. So they tightened the battery cable, they charged the battery up, and so far it's working. I don't know for how long, we'll see. And I got my electricity back on. Linda Foster says she watched me make the pizza. It looked delicious, especially the green. I love green olives on my pizza. I like everything on my pizza. I put plenty of cheese, pepperoni, garlic, onions, olives, pepper flakes. I couldn't even tell those pepper flakes were on there. They weren't hot, really. And usually I get them on there, and at least one or two will burn my mouth somewhere, but this time it didn't. I guess I had too much cheese around the hot pepper. What time I got here? It's 8:50. I can't even see it. It's 8:55 p.m., 9:55 p.m. where you're at. You're Eastern time. I'm Central time. So I'm an hour earlier than you, Mark. I'm still wanting some of that cheesecake you made. Oh, that cheesecake was so good. Oh my God. You need to make one, Kimberly. Mark, I'm in Texas. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I've been living in Texas for over 40 years now. Cool. I became an adopted Texan, I guess. Never been to Texas? Like how you added cheese under and over the sauce. Actually, that was a slip up. I usually put my sauce on the crust, but I jumped the gun and started putting my cheese on. But then I wanted to show everybody it's okay to mess up. You can still put your sauce on your cheese. It all comes out in the end. It was still a fantastic pizza. Doesn't matter what you put on first, it still come out good. Oh, you bought the stuff to make one today. Did you make it? You near the Robb Elementary School? We have a Robertson Elementary here. Not a Robb, it's Robinson Elementary. And there's Tommy. Hello, Tommy. Welcome to live chat. It was delicious. Oh, I'm glad you made one. I ate my last 2 pieces for my dinner tonight and a little bowl of banana pudding. Yeah, we don't have that school here. That's Robb. Yeah, we don't have that elementary here. I don't know where that's at. Yeah, everything so far has been going okay. I don't know what else is going to happen. But, when the car was dead, the house lights went off. It's like, oh my God, everything's happening at one time. What else, You love my house, Mark? Well, over the years, I put my own little touches to it to make me comfortable here. I guess that's why I don't mind living here. I've kind of made it my own, my own collectiveness, my own disaster. I mean, I don't have very much space, and I do have a lot of furniture here, but that's okay because it's only me here. And I'm a little person. I can get between everything. It's not that bad. I'm just joking with y'all. I do have a lot of furniture, though. I've got a little tiny living room, and I got 2 recliners and a full-size couch, an entertainment center, my TV. So, it's a living room full. I've lived here since 1978. November of 1978 is when we moved into this house. So I lived here for over 40 years. So my house has kind of grown on me. Or I've kind of grown on it. I don't know which one. It's home, put it that way. I've thought of that too, Tamara. But every time I get rid of something that I think I don't need, a week or 2 weeks later, I'm looking for that item that I got rid of because I need to use it. So I hate to get rid of stuff that I might use. So, and I'm not a hoarder. I mean, It's down to a minimum, but I do have a lot of furniture in my house. Usually I'm outside doing something in my garden when it's hot. That's why I end up with a farmer's tan. I've already got a farmer's tan. I mean, I pull my shirt sleeve up and my shoulders are white and my arms down here are brown. I need to start wearing sleeveless shirts or blouses when I go in the garden to work so my arms up here will get brown too. Because it looks kind of weird when you put on a sleeveless dress or something and all of a sudden you got white up here and it's brown down here. And there's Creations by JJ. Hello. How are you doing this evening? I'm coming down to stay with you so you can feed me. You might not like my food. It looks good, but still you may not like it. I usually cook what I like, you know. Once in a while I'll try some new recipes, but it's usually something I think I'll at least like. Yeah, I thought about that too, but I just uncovered them. They're doing fine so far. I covered them until they started blooming. So I've got them uncovered now, and I'm hoping that the squash borer bugs will stay away from my plants. Maybe if they came around them before they were blooming, they got discouraged because they couldn't get to them, and maybe they won't be back. I'm hoping anyway. You can use a little paintbrush too. I did start doing that, but most of my zucchini squash were male flowers. I didn't have any female flowers at the time. Now I went out there and I found there's a little zucchini about 4 or 5 inches long on the plant. I cook for you. You go play bingo. I used to play bingo years and years ago. I don't anymore. And I used to go to church. I sang in the choir for over 20 years, and I don't go anymore. I retired from the church. Yeah, you got to have both male and female blossoms. I only had the male at the time, so I could get plenty of male pollen, but there was no females to pollinate. I'm getting kind of sleepy because it's 9:03 p.m. here, which is 10 p.m. your time. All right, Darlene, you have a blessed night. I'm going to end the live anyway because we've been on for 2 hours. I've had a blessed time with everybody, chit-chatting with everybody, catching up with everybody. But I wanted to go live and let y'all know what's going on. And again, remind you that I'm probably not going to have a live tomorrow because I've got a meeting to go to. And if I did, it would be way late. So I doubt I have one tomorrow. Just so y'all know, if I don't schedule it and you don't see it scheduled, you know I'm not having one. Okay? So don't anybody get scared and crazy. So y'all have a blessed night. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos if you haven't already, or you know people that watch. Encourage them to subscribe and watch my videos and share them. And y'all sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And I'll see you next time. How distant shopping or market where you live? I'm within 5 minutes of a lot of stores here and shops. I'm real close to markets and shopping. I don't have to go far at all. Yeah, I'm just going down there to keep up with what's going on. You know, just as well, I don't want to be in the dark about what's going on in my own community here. So I like to go to the meetings. They only have them like once a month now. So, but anyway, time to call it quits. Yep, that's what I say. Like I said, y'all, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And I'll see you next time. Love y'all. Bye now. Have a good night.